What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here in the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Friday end-of-week edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. If you checked out the short today, Lindy's long balls, and if you're in the premium Discord, we hit a home run. I don't know what to do with my hands. Now I want to watch Talladega Nights. If you ain't first, you're last. But we're trying to be first all the time. But it's not feasible. You're not going to win every bet. But over the course of the last couple of weeks, everything else has been pretty stable. It was the home runs that disappeared since last Monday. And nice to get Junior Caminero across the line early here in the evening. Still got both, three home runs coming up here in the late window. Ended up on 2 Angels. And, of course, our guy, Austin Riley. Hopefully, we get some celebrations down below. I would love that. But no matter what, no matter where, you're able to jump in the premium Discord for just $5 still. Lindy 5. You go to the link below, jump into the Discord for a week. Come kick it, come talk process. I love talking process. I also like being able to update bets throughout the day. I mean, man, we've had so many of these rolling slates from Wednesday till Sundays, basically, where I'm up early in the morning starting the baseball, and I am up way late like tonight watching baseball, getting bets out there for you. Like, I don't know, Cal Quantrill over 3.5 strikeouts. Didn't think about betting that when I woke up this morning, but data wins in the end, and data is what you shall get with me. So we're going to get ourselves some leans, some likes, and things of that nature. Let's get to the plays. Oops, there we are. Beginning our day here with a PCA home run, which, look, I start very early in the day as far as like putting plays together for the next day. And well, I'm watching that game against my Twins. He goes yard, and then he goes yard again. And I don't think we're going to be getting the kind of price that we really want to be. He was originally going to go into the like section. In fact, there's two plays that definitely need to be kind of accounted for. We've got PCA home run. That one got downgraded purely because I didn't think it was really playable anymore. And then on the next slide, I'll point that one out as well. But I mean, the guy's just been incredible. He's one of the best launchers of the baseball that we have. He bats clean up every single time now. Remember when he was like in the 7-8 hole in Japan? That feels like forever ago. He said no to a contract before the season. That was very, very smart of him because he's going to make a F ton of money. 526 expected slugging with that 20.7 degree launch angle. Double dongs against my Twins. It was hurtful, but my boy is all grown up. Ryan O'Hearn over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Oh, I should probably point out, they're in Yankee Stadium. It's Carlos Rodon left on left. I still think against lefties, him and Kyle Tucker are more than functional. So maybe we do get like a plus 450, plus 500 type price that I would be looking for to really kind of roll the dice on him there. We'll see. Oh, and it's Chris flexing in his candy paint, rolling down, tearing up the lane. Ryan O'Hearn over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Why, you ask? Well, you got Cabrera versus Kramer. It sounds like Dean Kramer is going to be getting the start here for Baltimore. They had the doubleheader today. That was wild times and obviously not very fruitful for me. Looking at some of the things, almost bet Brett Beatty over 1.5 hits plus RBIs. That would have been useful. He ends up cashing it like right out of the gate in that second game. But Ryan O'Hearn gets the first game off because, well, he wasn't going out there against a lefty. And then bats cleaned up against a lefty, which was kind of ironic. But the David Peterson one is a little bit better than the scrub that they brought in the second time, scrub-a-dub-dub. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What is here is this matchup, specifically Edward Cabrera and Dean Kramer. Miami ended up on the over of Cal Quantrill strikeouts. I still can't believe that one ended up panning out. Gets to 5, got completely shelled in the process, which, again, isn't really part of your process when you're thinking strikeouts. You want them to stay in the game to have opportunities to get there, but once they do, go ahead. If he dies, he dies. We've got Burns 100 Ks. They get Colorado. Yeah. Remember when I said that I think his strikeout stuff's going to be pretty good? Chase Burns, he's had like 8, 0, and 7. He got completely shelled to the Red Sox, which makes sense. And that was an undergone very quickly for me. I will never forget these things. But Chase Burns, 30.6% K rate, going up against Colorado. I will say this too. There might be Colorado bats that are undervalued tomorrow. Both of these have amazing matchups. I mean, this is just like a home run prop land. I mean, it is Herman Marquez and his 358 xWOBA, 47.5% hard hit. Everything makes sense there, so just fire it up. Cleveland minus 1.5 here. As you look at the Cleveland board, gotta tell you, it is Williams versus Smith, and this is A mismatch, a pitching mismatch. Look, I've gotten better at saying words. Gavin Williams looked awesome last time out, but it's just one start, and he still has a 13% walk rate. That's the main reason that I didn't upgrade this one. Now, it's not as close as, like, again, the PCA one, very interested in. Next slide, we'll get to it. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Shane Smith, by this point, you should know, is not very good. 46.1% hard hit, 20.8% K rate, and it's a righty against Cleveland. They're functional. Against lefties, a little less so. Welcome to the main event of the day as far as pitchers are concerned. Paul Skeens versus Joe Ryan. Okay, I put Burns 100Ks here, and then I put 100Ks there just cumulative as a joke. It's hyperbole, friends. Obviously, if I were projecting that, you should probably listen to somebody else about baseball. But I do think Paul Skeens is probably going to run into a spot where he gets to go further than 5. Maybe not. All-Star game starter last year. Basically like a Tuesday, 1 inning bullpen session for him. We'll see. They've been very, very, very kitty glove on him because they aren't going anywhere. They're not going to spend money even with a generational player in their midst. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? As for Joe Ryan, he's on the trade block. The Twins should get a haul if it's Joe Ryan. I'm saying that as a fan. Joe Ryan's been very, very good, but advantageous hitting weather. It's going to be some push and pull. The total, 6.5, 7s, kind of warranted. Texas taking on Houston. Parishes home run plus stolen base. Now, didn't end up, well, not plus, it's and stolen base. I don't want you to parlay the two of them together. They're independent events, but I thought it was a pretty sharp look the other day. I ended up throwing a quarter unit on each one of them. Very small allocations for it, but Parishes is one of those guys that I do think is going to be walking more than the average bear atop this lineup. And that's just going to be coming to fruition in a way where it might take away from some of his pull opportunities. Now, they just got Kennedy Corona, Cooper Hummel's up there, Taylor Trammell. They're trying to make something work in that outfield. But Isaac Paredes, hot corner, hot route. He is going to be in the third base for many moons here for the Houston Astros. Complete pull hitter. The home runs look pretty decent here, and this is an awesome spot going up against a team in Texas that's traveling, and a Jack Leiter who should be there already, but has not been good so far. It's kind of wild because he and Paul Skeens were kind of looked at in the same vein as insane prospects. Jack Leiter coming out of Vanderbilt, obviously Skeens LSU, but 5.02 expected ERA so far this season is not good. Sub 20% K rate, not good. Everything across the board, not very good, and now you have to go up against Paredes, who actively pulls it, actively will also take advantage of that walk rate, 10.6%, 10.3% for a career going back to last year and this year's sample size. Next up, we've got Churio home run. This one wasn't remotely close to getting on the board, but I really don't like anything in this game at the moment. I thought James Wood home run would actually look a little bit better, but I ran the numbers and last 10 data, which I love to use all the time. Mitchell Parker, a lefty on lefty, it's still going to probably end up being Wood as the priority, but I want to point out my data against son of a priest, man, Quinn Priester on the mound. You're probably running into a lot of interest in home runs, and Yelich starting to loft the ball a little bit more. Ended up on his total bases. He ends up getting, 1.5 total bases. He got 2 the other day. That made me happy. These are just the things I thought I'd point out. Always betting, always watching. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. Braves taking on Cardinals, Atlanta money line. The money line, gotta say, not my favorite spot here either. We got Holmes and Liberatore. I think Holmes is just functional enough if it ends up being him. Grant Holmes, 228 expected batting average. But Matthew Liberatore, his advanced metrics are a lot worse than his actual numbers, because his actual numbers, 3.70 ERA, we can function with that. We can get down with our bad selves. 1.18 whip is actually the best he's had in the last 3 years as well. He's got some good with some bad. Arizona and LA, LOL, they don't want to give us starting pitchers because that would be way too convenient. But I think it's just Nelson and Anderson. Like, why do you not have announced starting pitchers on MLB.com or on ESPN or anywhere else? All of my trusted places. Looked at the scouts page too with Fangraphs for who they project, and they project who it's going to be. So Ryan Nelson versus Tyler Anderson. But Anderson neutralizes some of the lefties. Ketel Marte been much better against righties. So now taking on a lefty, it's kind of weird. Tyler Anderson, kind of that old guy pitching at the Y kind of thing. Kyle Hendricks cashes us another ticket. That was nice. Angels money line. We've cashed 3 tickets with Kyle Hendricks this season. I never saw that coming. You got blown up, but the Angels still found a way to cover. Shout out Jorge Soler on Wednesday. That was. We'll see how Thursday goes. That game has not started yet, so I can't tell you anything there. As far as K-Letter, that's interesting to me, but you don't have a San Diego starting pitcher announced. I think it's going to end up being some form of a bullpen game. I think Bergert is probably the guy who's going to eat up the most innings of it. Ryan Bergert. It's been decent so far. A little bit high of a walk rate, but overall, interesting stuff. As for the Athletics money line, this is the one that I was kind of talking about that I overrode that I think is very, very close. I think the public pushes this Toronto's way. I think it happens. Toronto's been on this heater. They've played, the White Sox. They play a lot of teams. They're just terrible, horrible, no good, very bad. No, the sweep against the Yankees, that was lovely to watch because that's good stuff. But I will say, I think Toronto gets this pushed up a little bit, and that's the reason that I hit eject on this play for the time being. It's Max Scherzer up against Luis Severino. Scherzer looked better last time out, but also you were going to get swing and miss against the Yankees. Dodgers, Giants to round out the lean portion of the program. You got May versus Webb. May looked better. I'm not sure that I'm ready to trust him here as a dog against Logan Webb. And Logan Webb, if it's not Zach Wheeler, who in the premium Discord, plus 800 is where we got Greg Ehrenberg posting all of that goodness. The last time around for Zach Wheeler, if you're not going to have him now at minus 140 is on FanDuel, Logan Webb is your hedge. Or if you did get on that in the premium Discord. If you didn't, why aren't you there? Super easy, super chill. Jump in. $5 for your first week. Lindy 5. It is as simple as that, friends. I have 3 plays for you coming up right now in the like section. Again, it's Friday. That's a lot fewer plays. I'm going to have at least 10 more posted in the premium Discord, as well as Pick'em, as well as so much more. Again, usually I just kind of set it as like 3 to 5 plays minimum, but I always go over that because I'm always hustling out there for the dollar, making some money for you, make you holla. I sound like an idiot. Let's get to the plays. Hit that like button for me if you could, and hopefully everything looks and sounds a lot better today as we go to Seattle taking on Detroit in this one. And this is my second favorite play of the day. Again, I try to rank them for you because I understand some people are using Kelly or half Kelly criterion. And again, that's kind of where this was devised from. Leans, they're things I'm thinking about betting or just like on the fringe where there's not a huge edge to it at the moment, or in my opinion, that's the case. Likes, those I see more of a pronounced edge in locks. Well, I didn't force one in today, although I kind of wanted to. Seattle and Detroit, this one is fascinating purely because you get Luis Castillo, who I do not trust, and you should know that by now. Now, there's a weird graphic watching the Yankees game where he has the lowest fastball batting average against since 2023, and it's his teammate Brian Wu who has the second lowest it is. So Luis Castillo does do some functional things still, but also they roped in 2023 data. This year, that fastball does not look the same to me. 11.7% barrel percentage, 46.9% hard hit overall. There are problems coming Castillo's way. Oh, yeah, and he's not pitching in Seattle. You know who's pitching in Detroit against him? Tariq Skubal. I mean, how many times can we cash Detroit minus 1.5 on this program? I'm not going to the -1. Shout out Jacob, though, for, again, the STL love. We ended up cashing that one this week. Detroit, give me the run line all day. I don't understand this number. I still will not understand this number. Next up, Tampa Bay taking on Boston. You got an interesting one here because Junior Caminero is God. Brandon Lau is God. He's been so good to us all season long. Junior Caminero maybe ended the great home run drought of 2025. But there's another guy who's been awfully, awfully nice to us. It's Jonathan Aranda. And sorry about my lift there. I don't know where that came from. Tucker and Thuckatash. Weird segue. Drew Rasmussen's been decent. Hunter Dobbins has not been. 17.3% K rate, 42.8% hard hit. Overall, friends, I think Hunter Dobbins must pay for the sins of his family. I'm sure his family's probably lovely. But Jonathan Aranda, I still have plus 600. If I had gotten plus 600, even against Walker Buehler, who's been a reverse splits pitcher, I would have taken that today. But of course, I didn't jump onto that plus 600. I didn't see it at the right time, and it ended up crashing back down to plus 450. I will be betting anything better than plus 350 for Jonathan Aranda tomorrow. This is going to be a fast program. The Metsies taking on Kansas City. But again, these are the 3 plays. I don't want to force anything thin for you. This is not Thin Mints, even though those are delicious in a movie theater. A lot of good movies coming out. Or I hope they're good movies that are coming out. Superman. New York Mets taking on Kansas City. And this one ends our boarding walk very, very quickly and abruptly. But a couple of things to point out. We got Kadai Senga coming off of the IL, and then you got Michael Waka Waka, who I really don't like. Now, Kadai Senga was elite when he was, waiting to come back here. And now there's really no reason not to just let him go unchained, but I don't think he'll be long for this one. And the Mets are coming off of a doubleheader on Thursday. Now, why does that matter? Everybody got utilized, everybody got used, if you will, and that creates a good opportunity for Kansas City. And it's also been awesome hitting weather in Kauffman. Not a lot of people taking advantage of it, and we've actually backed a lot of pitchers there recently, but there's good reason for it. They had Pittsburgh in town. Michael Waka Waka, he is the guy I do want to target here with some of these Mets lefties, and that, well, I guess righties too. Michael Waka had been reverse splits once upon a time. Over 9. His number is not high enough. It should be 9.5. Juice towards that over, and that ends our program. Man, that's got to be the fastest one of the week for a 15-game slate as well. But hey, I had 3 plays for you. I'm going to have plenty more in that premium Discord. Thank you for everybody. So many new faces hanging out in there. And you know what? I gave Connor a hard time today, but I still love you, my guy, Connor19. Anyway, he's a Connor T19. He's a legend of the Discord here at this point in time. Legends of the Hidden Temple, as well as Big Green Jeff and so many other lovely humans that are hanging in there on a day in, day out basis, sweating the bets, talking process. I really love talking the process and talking the plays. Let's get ourselves the heck out of here. And that does it for another edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this lovely slate we have before us. Nothing else really to add. Super tight, less than 20 minutes by always here today, but hopefully the streaming quality is a little bit better. I apologize to everybody for bearing through it. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets here on Friday.